peace be upon all. So one of the things which our viewers have been asking for quite some time for me to present is some of the tools that I use that would be useful for others to use as part of undertaking the study of the Quran. And I've been replying to a few of you with some of the online tools which I've used. But I thought I'll do a short video just to go through a few of the tools that I think would be very useful for you to use as part of your own study of the Quran. Certainly these are tools which I've been using. Now there are many, so I'm not going to go through all of them today. I'll go through a few of them. One thing I would say is that there are lots of online tools out there to help you with your Quran study. So number one, there's no excuse. We can all undertake the study ourselves. The other thing I would say is that I don't tend to use any one particular tool. I use a number of tools as part of my study to enable me to get to the deeper meanings of the verses in the Quran, which help me then prepare the study sessions that we've been presenting on our YouTube channel. I will go through 3 tools today, just to give you an example of some of the tools. 2 of the tools are online, so I will take you through them. Okay, I'll take you through these 2 online tools and show you around what they are and how to get to them and what you can do with them. The 3rd tool is not an online tool, and it's the most important tool to use when studying the Quran. The most important tool. So that's the 3rd one I'm going to go through. Now, while I'm preparing this, what I'd like you to do is to think about what that 3rd tool might be. It's not an online tool, and it's the most important tool. Drop me a comment in the comment section on the YouTube channel, and whilst we're going through the others, let me know what you think this 3rd tool is going to be. What is the most important tool when undertaking the study of the Quran? Okay, right. So let's get to it. So the online tools I'm going to go through today are, first of all, Corpus. Okay, you can see it. Okay, corpus.quran.com. I do find this a very useful tool. I know many other people who I know who study the Quran use this tool as well. I'm not going to go through everything. I'll just give you a quick overview and the reason why I like this tool as part of my study. So first of all, it has a word-by-word translation of the Quran. So if you click on word by word, you can see you've got drop down here for the various chapters and the verses in the chapter. So you can go through any verse, look for any verse, and it will give you, as you scroll down, the word by word translation. Okay. And the other advantage of this is that for any of the words, you can click through, like Alhamdu, and what it gives you is the references to all the other places in the Quran where that word or a derivative of that word has been used. So for example, here it's telling you it's been used in verb form over here in 3188. Okay, and the word that's been used is Yahmadu. Okay, and then it gives a list of where it's been used as a noun. Look at this. Then as a nominal adjective, and so on. And then what you can do, you can use this then to go and explore some of these other verses which use the same word. And that allows you to see how this word has been used in other places in the Quran and try and derive the consistency of meaning. Okay, so I might click on, for example, here, 743, and it gives me the verse. Okay. Let's go back. So that's the word by word. The other thing which it's got, actually, let me go back here. if you then go to Alhamdu again, let me just click on it again, okay? Not only does it give you the references to other places in the Quran where that word has been used, it also gives you the root letters which make up that word. So for Alhamdu, for example, it's telling you that the 3 root letters which make up that word are Ha, Mim, Dal. And I'm going to come on to how I use this, because this is very important. Okay? Right, so that's the word by word. Go back up. What it also has is a Quran dictionary. And this is very useful if you're looking up a specific root word. So I just went through how you identified what the root word is. For a specific root word, so let's just say if you're looking at, well, let's do the same one. Ha, Mim, Dal. So you click on Ha and look for Ha, Mim, Dal. Here we go. And you click on Go. And here again, it tells you where in the Quran any word which is a derivative of that root word, or those 3 root letters, has been used. And you can do that for anything. Let's just say looking at birra. So ba. And let's go for ra, ra. Ra, ra. Go. And look. Verb form, to be good, to be kind. Tabarru, tabarruhum. Al-abrari. You know, so it's telling you where in the Quran with all the references that root word has been used. Okay, so this, and there's many other things in this on this website you'll be able to see. You can see the frequencies of different words and types of words being used. You can study the syntax within the Arabic language using the Quran. There's a Quranic grammar area as well. So on and so forth. So do have a look at this website. It's very useful. Like I mentioned, I use the word by word quite often as part of my studies. That's number 1. Number 2, the other very useful site for you to know about is this one. studyquran.co.uk/PRL online. Now what this is, it's a lexicon reference point. Now, recall how I said that we can look up the tri-letter root word for any word used in the Quran using this previous website, corpus.quran.com. What I then do is, once I've identified what a root word is, when I'm trying to explore what its meaning is, I often come onto this website and I have a look at what it might mean. So for example, we went through and we looked at birra. You saw me do that a second ago. Well, let's have a look at what the lexicon tells us. So click over here at the top here, ba. And now this, you will see over here at the top, is not in the Arabic order of letters, but it's actually in the English order from the perspective of sounds. So for example, A, Alif and Ain are first, then you got Ba, then Dod, Dal, Fa, etc. And that's the way the rest of this website works as well, for your information. So I'm looking at birra, okay, Ba, Ra, Ra. So I click on Ba, and you scroll down, and you find Ba, Ra, Ra. Let's see what it tells me. Go down. Remember, it's in the order of English sounds, okay? So Ba, Ra, Ra. Okay, here we go. Ba, Ra, Alif. Ba, Ra, Jim, Ba, Ra, Kaf. Ba, Ra, Kaf. Ba, Ra, Ra. Here we go. Ba, Ra, Ra. And it's telling you that these are the meanings of that root word. Ba, Ra, Ra. It means to be pious, kind, good, gentle, and so on and so forth. It also means someone who overcoming someone with good actions or speech, obedience. You know, there are several meanings here. And what you can also do is you can then, it's got references to Lane's lexicon, which is quite a well-renowned Arabic lexicon. And what you can do, click on, it's got the references or the hyperlinks to the 4 pages over which Lane discusses the meaning of Ba'ara. So if you're looking to go deeper, what it does, okay, so I've come onto my PDF where this is opened up. And what you can see here now is the detailed scanned pages of Lane's lexicon. And here, Lane is describing the various meanings of the words that are derived from Ba'ara in the different forms that it could be used in the Arabic language. So that is quite a useful tool. Okay, so those are 2 of the tools, like I mentioned, which I use quite regularly. There are many other tools available which I also use, which I would recommend you use, which I'll make some additional videos about. But these are very useful ones which I've used in the past, and I still do. Now, the third tool, the most important tool when you're undertaking a study of the Quran, which in fact all of us have. I don't need to give you a website for this. We all have this tool, and that is the mind. The mind is the most important tool to use when studying the Quran. The most important one. You can use any of these online tools to help you with your study. Use them as guides. Use them as dictionaries, lexicons, word by words to guide you to understand the meaning of the Quran. But if you want to understand the true meaning, if you want to extract the hikmah, the wisdom, if you want to be able to obtain no doubt in the Quran, in the teachings of the Quran, in the patterns within the Quran, in the consistency within the Quran, then you have to use your mind. I can tell you, when I go through and read a number of translations, I find that some of the words which have been used in English as translations are not quite right. And there could be many reasons for that. But when I undertake this sort of study and then I think about them, I sometimes think of a word which I would prefer to use, at least for myself. And that's why it's so important to use your mind and not just stay loosely at the top level of an English translation or translation in any other language for that matter. You've got to use your mind. Otherwise you'll get to a very basic meaning, and sometimes you may not even get the true meaning if you stay at that top level. That's not to say those tools which I just went through are not useful. They're very, very useful, particularly if you're not an Arabic speaker like myself. But I use them as guides. What I really use is my mind. I ponder. I think about whether the right word has been used as the translation. I think about what that meaning really is. I think about what it means for me from a practical perspective. I think about whether the translation which I looked at is consistent with the translation in another part of the Quran which is referring to a similar matter, and see whether that works, or whether there's another deeper meaning to it which I need to extract. So the mind is really important. Allah says in the Quran so many times, repeats for us so many times, the rhetorical question, do you not use your minds? Do they not think? Do you not think? Will you not think? Will you not ponder? For example, in chapter 4 verse 82, Allah starts the verse by saying, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ? Will they not then reflect on the Quran? Reflect. Reflect, not identify and read a translation, but reflect. That is the essence. That is what we are commanded to do. So I would leave you with that message, and I would like to leave you with that point, which is that These are fantastic tools to help you, and please do explore them, experiment with them. They will really, really help you. They really will help you. But don't compromise the most important tool you have. Don't compromise the use of the mind. Okay, let me know whether you found this useful and whether you've been using these tools before and what you think about these tools. And indeed, if there are other tools that you've been using as part of your study of the Quran. Because what I might do is do some additional videos going through the different tools and showing how to use them as well. So let me know if there are any other tools that you use. I will be doing some videos about other tools which I've been using as well. And let me know if this has been useful. And if you haven't used these tools before and use them now, let me know what you think. And then inshallah we'll go through some of the other tools as well. Until next time, peace be upon you.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن